He was just telling the snowman how much he wanted a green mountain bike like Paul Millet's for Christmas when he heard the sound of footsteps crunching in the snow behind him. He turned around. They were all there, Mom, Dad, and Grandma. "We've come to see a surprise," said Dad. "Wow, wow, wow," said Mom, gazing up at the snowman in wonder. "Amazing, and the best thing about him is his smile." "He's magnificent, James," said Grandma, reaching out to touch the snowman. "He's wonderful, almost like he is real, like he's living and breathing. I love those three lovely coat buttons too. Do you know, I thought I was missing a few Brussels sprouts. Still, on cold days like this, you've got to keep yourself buttoned up, even if you're a snowman." James dipped through the snow all the way back to the house. He was so happy that they all loved his snowman as much as he did. He fell over a few times because it's not easy to skip in the snow. They all laughed at that, and Bertie joined in, barking his head off. And then he chased his tail again, so they all laughed some more. Their laughter echoed over the fields around them. Big and little neighed and brayed from their field, and soon all the animals seemed to be joining in. The whole farm rang with laughter, and James was sure he could hear his snowman laughing too. A deep, booming laugh, a jolly laugh like no one else's. James wanted to spend the whole afternoon with his snowman out in the oak tree field, but they wouldn't let him. "You were out there all morning, James," said Mom. "It's bitter out there," said Grandma. "You'll catch a cold. You stay in here in the warm and help your grandma. There's plenty to do. You could start by fetching the logs for the fire." "Don't worry," said Dad, already laughing. With that, you could always tell when a joke was coming. "Your snowman will be fine out there. It doesn't matter much if a snowman gets cold, does it?" He pestered them and pestered them. So in the end, they let him go out again just before dark to say good night to his snowman. He looked very lonely standing out there all on his own. "Sleep well, Mr. Snowman," Jim said, looking up at him. "I'll dream about you and you dream about me. Then you won't be lonely, will you? Christmas Day is tomorrow. Father Christmas might bring me my bright green mountain bike. That's if I'm a good little boy," Mom says. "Then we could go for a ride on it together, couldn't we?" "Got to go. Don't want to, but it's my tea time. And I promised Mom I'd be back inside before she could count to 500. And James walked through the snow back to the house, feeling on top of the world. That night, it was Mom's turn to read him a story. James said he wanted this snowman, but Mom said he always wanted that one, and he had a snowman of his own now, which was a lot better than a story about one. And anyway, he wanted to read him her favorite Christmas story, which was The Night Before Christmas. It was quite good, but not as good as the snowman. But he didn't tell Mom that. Afterwards, Dad and Grandma came up and he had more hugs. As usual, Grandma told him not to let the big bugs bite, and Dad said he mustn't try to stay awake to see Father Christmas come creeping into his room with all the presents to fill up his stockings. Dad laid out the stocking on the end of James's bed. "It's empty now," he said, "but you go to sleep like a good little boy, and when you wake up, it will be full of presents." You'll see. And then they were all gone and James was alone. He hated being alone at school. He was alone in his bedroom now. But that was all right. Somehow he never felt alone at home. Not in the same way. He thought of his snowman alone in his field, and the owl hooted. Ooh-wee, ooh-wee, ooh-wee. They don't go to-wee, to-woo at all, James thought. And that owl is alone too. He stutters and stammers as well. Maybe that's why I like owls. But then he thought, none of us is alone. Not really. Sometimes we think we are. But I know the owl is out there and I know the snowman is out there. And there are voices downstairs, so I'm not alone anyway. Not really. James liked thinking. Thinking and dreaming were his two favorite things.